Well, ladies and gentlemen, some Endrick latest news. Real Madrid seems to have come into the frame as I've expected. Ivan Toney blockbuster news. Obviously, we've been linked with Ivan Toney. A lot of you guys want Ivan Toney, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Arsen Zakharyn, there could be some sort of development as to how we could perhaps bring him to Chelsea Football Club. And of course, a special thank you note for Gary Cahill for retiring from football.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Chelsea transfer news segment once again as we slowly move into the World Cup scenario very, very soon. Up until then, we're going to continue with all the Chelsea stuff. And even during the World Cup, any Chelsea news, I will make sure I cover and I give you guys that update. And of course, as I said, during the World Cup, any blockbuster matches, we'll definitely try and give you guys a review, probably not a preview, a review. And if there is a need to do a watch along, we'll definitely do a watch along. But most importantly, we will cover every Chelsea player. I think there's about 12. That's including what's his name, Ethan Ampadu, and we're going to try and keep up with them and try and give you guys an update on those players and how they're performing. So, without further ado, let's get in on the latest on Endrick, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Fabrizio Romano. There's been 2 tweets from Fabrizio Romano in the last 12 hours, less than 12 hours, to be honest. First one goes something like this. Endrick confirms he's now studying English, but I'm not going to answer about my future club. Of course, I'd like to play Champions League in 2, 3, or 4 years, tells Gazzetta. I'm open to all the clubs, waiting for the best proposal for me and my family. Now, a lot of people are getting very gassed, like, oh, wow, he's learning English. Surely he's coming to the Premier League. I mean, why else would he be learning English? Look, in this day and age, it's very important to learn English, not just for football, for many other reasons, whether it be media, whether it be just like when you travel as well. Like, I'm sure you probably need to have the ability to speak English in certain areas. So I know there's a lot of players out there that still, especially, from the South American end of things, not so fluent in English, and they go by without it. But I think for youngsters moving on for the future, it's just important to learn how to speak English. And of course, you can link this with football and Premier League, but I think it's important nonetheless. And I'll tell you why. There's a little quote. We'll come back to Endrick again very, very soon. A little quote here from Cesar Casady, one of our development players that we bought last summer. And he says this about the whole English situation. I live 20 minutes from Cobham and I study English 3 to 4 times a week with a teacher. I've improved in this too compared to the beginning, but I have to learn it well. Beyond football, it's because it is a language that today we need to know. So, look, obviously he lives in London. He needs to learn how to speak English. But that aside, beyond football, he's mentioned here, beyond football, because it is a language that today we need to know. And I think we shouldn't take too much into account the fact that Endrick is wanting to learn English. I think at the end of the day, for youngsters coming up, it's very, very important that you know how to speak English. Having said that, the twist, which I said recently, look, when Real Madrid comes around, it may not be so rosy for Chelsea Football Club. Look, we're doing apparently everything possible to get Endrick. We're trying to match whatever fee whoever is wanting to pay. I don't know. Recently, I think I've seen PSG offering something or other, and Chelsea's coming in and offered the same amount. There's a release clause for 60 million euros. That's a lot of money for a youngster, but he's the next sensation. He's the next wonder kid. There's a strong belief from everyone that this guy is going to be the main thing. And however, I said, look, when Real Madrid come knocking, Real Madrid with their aura, with all the trophies that they've won, with every time how they're in for trophies every season, and the caliber of players that are playing over there from Brazil and past as well, it's going to play on Endrick's mind. So this is the latest in regards to Endrick's link with Real Madrid. Endrick's father, Douglas, reveals that they will visit Real Madrid facilities, will travel to Madrid at the end of this month, tells UOL Esporte. After that conversation, Real Madrid will await a response from us to see if they should come and make a bid to Palmeiras. Look, I'm pretty certain when Endrick's parents go to Real Madrid and check their facilities, they're not going to be disappointed. I'm pretty sure Real Madrid has everything to the, in terms of world-class situation over there. Everything will be at that level, absolutely top of the charts sort of stuff over there. But most importantly, they have those Brazilian players, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Gabriel Militao. They'll be more than willing to convince Endrick's parents to ensure Endrick comes to Real Madrid. But we'll see. We'll see how this progress is. Does he choose a club where, it's probably going to be easy for him to blend in as quickly as possible with all those Brazilian players that they have over there? Also, let's be honest, La Liga, probably not supremely competitive beyond probably Real Madrid and Barcelona and probably Atletico Madrid, whereas in the Premier League, it is damn competitive all throughout. Anyone can beat anyone. It is the best league in world football. It is where you can make a name. But do you choose Chelsea or do you choose Real Madrid? At Chelsea, apparently the word is he will be made an important player for us. In 2 years' time, when he's 18, he'll apparently be an important player. So is he going to be an important player for Real Madrid immediately? I think he probably will be as well, because Benzema's time over there is probably running out. So look, watch this space. As I said, I'm happy the way we are trying our level best to get this player, but at the same time, I'm realistic that it may not happen. The whole reason I wanted to show the Cesar Casady little bit of quotes was just to link up that studying English point of view. He said a few more comments, but we're not going to go through those from Cesar Casady. Not really extremely important. Now, let's move on to the next news. The FA have charged Ivan Toney with 232 separate breaches of their betting rules. Someone made a comment on Instagram when I posted this saying, "Liz, do you blame this guy? They're sponsored by Hollywood Pets." That's a good comment. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I brought this particular news up is, one, Todd Bowley actually likes the Brentford setup. There's been tweets previously. There's been publications from different news outlets stating that Todd Bowley likes the setup at Brentford, how they do their recruitment based on data, and he's always admired that football club. And obviously, in recent times, we've been linked with Ivan Toney as well. It's one of the strikers that we're looking at, along with apparently Napoli striker Victor Osimhen and a few other attackers as well. So he's someone of an interest for us. There's no doubt about that. But I've made it very evident, abundantly evident since last summer when we've been linked with him, that I've got no issues with Ivan Toney. I think he's a sensational footballer. He's a fantastic striker. He will bang in goals. He's the kind of player up front as a number 9 that you can associate some of our previous number 9s in the likes of Drogba, Diego Costa, and so on. So he kind of reminds me of that type of a mold. My biggest concern with Ivan Toney, however, is his attitude. His character is a massive concern. 232 separate breaches of betting rules. I mean, and this is on top of, don't forget, if you guys remember, this infamous video that went viral, Ivan Toney, when Brentford messed up with his accumulator. I think people are taking a mick. A particular girl, I think, said to Ivan Toney, say F Brentford. And he said F Brentford. And this went viral. He literally said F Brentford. So, look, is this the kind of a character? Is this the kind of a character? Is this the attitude that we want at Chelsea Football Club? I mean, do we want more publicity? Do you know what I mean? Like, we already have issues with people like Romelu Lukaku. Recently, we've said we don't want Ronaldo because this guy he's got main sort of attention-seeking syndrome. Do you know what I mean? So is this the attitude that you want? Is this the kind of player that you want, who's probably just moments away from being the headline? Do you know what I mean? Always seem to be creating some sort of a fuss. Like even when they played against Arsenal, if you guys remember, just a kickabout. Like you just don't want to do that. You don't want to bring attention, man. Karma is and look what has happened this season. Arsenal beat them, and everyone went on his back because of that tweet. And obviously, he's replied back saying, "Look, it's only funny when the first time he did it." But he seems like a bit of a guy who's a bit notorious, who's a bit mischievous. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Like as I said, from a footballing point of view, no problems. But Chelsea Football Club, we're known to be in the media. We're known to have whole heap of articles written about us on a regular basis. We're always in controversy. Do we want to add another character that's possibly going to add to that? That's just my concern. I'm going to leave it to you guys. You let me know. Do you still take Ivan Toney? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is in regards to Arsen Zakharyn, who's flying to Armenia in December to apply for Armenian citizenship. So one of the biggest issues with Arsen Zakharyn at the moment is the fact that obviously playing in the Russian league, Russian background, the war between Russia and Ukraine, it's a whole heap of drama, right? Whole heap of drama. And this is stopping his move from that Russian team. I think it's Dynamo Moscow, I think they're called, to Chelsea Football Club because it's very complicated. So this is the sort of work behind, go around the back sort of business that's happening at the moment. He's going to be going to Armenia. He's going to apply for an Armenian citizenship, but I think he's still going to continue playing for the Russian national team. But this is one way of getting around the things. And it further goes on to say, the issue of the money transfer from Chelsea for Arsen Zakharyn's move has also been handled. It will be done through an Armenian bank. So this is one way to get around the whole process of trying to eliminate that whole political side of things. So look, I'm excited, man. We need some sort of creative player coming through to Chelsea. And this guy, if the stats are not lying and some of the footages that I've seen, he seems like that type of a player. He could be potentially down the track. I don't want to put a marker down. That KDB mold of a player. Someone who can shoot from range, left foot, right foot, has the vision, creative sense in galore. So look, I don't expect him to start for us immediately, which we've talked about in our recent live stream. But at least someone in the development squad who can hopefully, have a positive impact on the rest of the team, and maybe for up-and-coming youth players who can see his game and potentially want to emulate that, and we can start creating more creative players. This guy down the track could potentially be in the Chelsea first team. And with Neil Bath now being the director of development and operations, I think that's the new position that Neil Bath is in. He will definitely help out Arsen Zakharyn to make that transition from the development squad to the first team. And I think someone like Graham Potter will be benefited with a player like Arsen Zakharyn because we don't have any sort of creativity at the moment. So I like this. Hopefully we can do this for January, which will be very, very fantastic. You guys let me know. To all the people that, I don't know whether you watch the Russian league, whether it's available in free TV, but if you know much about Arsen Zakharyn, please comment below. I really want to hear from you guys. What do you think about? Would he be able to adapt to the Premier League, the physicality, the pace? Would he be a success at Chelsea Football Club? Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, massive thank you to Gary Cahill. I think he's a Chelsea legend. I really do. With everything that he's achieved for Chelsea, everything that he's done for Chelsea, I'm never going to forget that Champions League, man. That Champions League campaign, Gary Cahill, he was a colossus, absolute colossus. And so many other moments as well. Premier League champion, FA Cup champion, and the list just goes on. Europa League as well. Look at this, 290 Chelsea appearances, 25 goals, some key goals as well, man. He was a goal-scoring defender, which was fantastic. 2 Premier League titles, as you can see, 2 FA Cup, 1 League Cup, 1 Champions League, 2 Europa League. Happy retirement, Gary Cahill, and best wishes to you after after your footballing career has now been finished. Hope you enjoy retirement, man. And thank you for everything. Thank you for everything that you've given to Chelsea Football Club. And I know it didn't end nicely with Chelsea with the Sarri season, but it is what it is. Sometimes that's what happens. But we'll always remember Gary Cahill for all the fun memories. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much ends us with the Chelsea transfer news and a bit of Chelsea news at the end. Let me know how you feel about the whole Endrick situation. Ivan Toney is the one that I really want to hear from you. Is that the kind of character that you want at Chelsea Football Club? And of course, Arsen Zakharyn. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you have. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for a live, hopefully sometime tomorrow. Till next time. See ya.